Hi guys, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, I'm the real Kayla, and for this video I'm going to be explaining why I think micro wedding is just top tier, and I'm going to walk you through my micro wedding day, why I really enjoyed it, how I helped prepare for it. It took me about 2 months to plan it, and we're just going to be going through everything I kind of wish I knew and everything on why I enjoyed it and I would do it again. Okay, so I got engaged in November, but also knew that my significant other was going to propose to me because I was already pregnant. So I already kind of knew that he was going to propose to me about a month before, so I started planning my micro wedding in October of 2024, and the micro wedding was December 16th of 2024, so literally like 2 months later. So the first thing that I want to talk about is my wedding dress. My wedding dress I got off of Lulu Dress, which is a really good website if you're looking for like cost efficient dresses. I just hated it when I actually got it. When I got it, I didn't take any pictures of when I got it, but when I got it, it was just so depressing, and it was also because I was pregnant, so you could kind of see my bump, and I didn't really like, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to be pregnant, but I just didn't want to really see my bump, especially in my wedding dresses. I didn't want it to look like, I don't know, like we were kind of just rushing to the altar, because we weren't, we just wanted to get married. So I ended up having to take my dress to an alteration. I'll put the link below. She's in the DMV. She's an African seamstress, top tier. I took her to go get the dress done, and I just needed so much done to the dress. I had to put a slit in it, I had to take the back out, I had to tighten in the waist, ironically, even though I was pregnant, because the dress wasn't shaped around properly around my boobs, and then I also had to install a tutu underneath because the dress was falling so flat and it just looked really almost depressing and dull. So if you have money for tailoring and you want to like almost have a vision with your dress, I would recommend Lulu's. Or if you're just like looking for a quick dress, Lulu's also has like very cute stuff. I just didn't like it when it came in on me. It wasn't the vision that I had in mind for like the dress I wanted to wear for my day. But I had a little extra money in the tailoring, or in the budget for tailoring, and I was able to kind of just do what I actually wanted to do. Then we're going to talk about the location. So the location that we chose for the actual ceremony was the National Gallery of Art. We're really lucky to be in a place like DC where there's so many like national monuments and public spaces that they can't remove you from. So even if like you're technically not allowed to be there, they can't push you away. So if you're like okay with like random strangers being at your ceremony, I'd recommend a public monument. There's the National Gallery of Art, there's like the Jefferson Memorial, which I think costs money to reserve, so you can't just pop up there. I think you're allowed to do it at the Lincoln Memorial, and these are all like free venues. Most of them are free or like less than $100 to reserve for your ceremony, and some of them even provide chairs. So if you're into like, if you're having like less than 10 people, less than 15 people, I spent $0 on my ceremony space. I literally popped up, and how many people can say that they got married in front of a Monet, which I did, and it was just such a cool moment, and everybody, my mom thought it was crazy. She's like, why don't you get married in a chapel? And I was like, because I have a vision, and I see the vision. And yeah, so we got married in the museum. You didn't have to reserve anything, you just literally just pop up. Usually the museum's used to less than 5 people. So if you have more than like 10, I'll say 15 at max. And then of course, as long as you're okay with standing and doing like a really short ceremony. Like our ceremony was less than like 10 minutes. I didn't want people to be standing there a long time. I was like, let's see these vows get in and out. So yeah, public spaces, public domains, public monuments, places where they can't remove you. I wouldn't, if you're doing like, I wouldn't recommend anywhere that's like privately owned. So I think like nonprofits would probably be out. Anywhere that's like a public government space, you're technically allowed to use. Not like government, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take that part out. Keep in mind with public spaces that flash photography isn't allowed, and huge tripods aren't allowed. So those two things aren't allowed. But tripods are allowed, tripods aren't allowed, and neither are like large items. So you can have like cameras. Like I had a photographer there, which I'll hop into next. So the photo shoot. I think for micro weddings / elopement days, because there's less people, it gives you more room to like do for your pictures. So I hired a photographer for 2 hours, and because it was just like my family and his family, we were able to like after the 10-minute ceremony, we spent an hour just doing a photo shoot of just the family, and we got such cute pictures. We got some photos with like my family, some photos with his family, some photos of me standing with his family. We got one big photo even with the officiants, and it was so cute, and it came out like chef kiss. And we got to spend just an hour doing that because everybody was so patient and everybody knew what we were there for, and we all wanted the photos to come out really good. And then for the following hour, it was just me and Chris. We got to go off and do almost like a 2-hour long photo shoot around the museum. We just got to do photos, and because our families like understood the mission, they understood the goal. And my photographer Deja, who was, if you're in the DC area, absolutely hire her. We had 2 calls prior to the actual like photo shoot, and then she was like attached to my Pinterest board, so every time I put a Pinterest board in there, she was like even excited to get some of the photos down. Like she's like, I want to do this photo really badly, and I saw a picture that kind of looks like an inspo photo that you sent me. I want to do a photo in front of that one. And she just like understood the mission, and I wouldn't be able to do that personally. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that at a big wedding. I wouldn't feel comfortable enough to have like 75 people waiting on me for a 2-hour long photo shoot, versus like my family was like really understanding. I think they literally went to like a nearby cafe, or like they walked around the museum, and they just like went to go do their own thing for like the 2 hours that me and Chris did our photo shoot. And I really love that. So that's something cool that you're allowed to like put in your elopement day or your micro wedding day, because it's your day. The fourth thing is the cake. So again, because it's not a lot of people, I spent $43 on my cake. I went to Woodmore Shop Bakery in Silver Spring, Maryland. They're the same people that did my gender reveal cupcakes, because for my gender reveal cupcakes, I had them put in whatever color of the gender into the actual cupcake, and they made like, I want to say 2,000 cupcakes in less than a week notice. And for my cake, I literally showed them an inspiration photo, and they did it so well, and they did it in a timely manner. I ordered it on Sunday, and I ordered it to be picked up that following Friday. Less than $50. I think it was like a 4-tier cake, like 4 stacks, and it was meant to serve like 10 people, and I really liked it. Lastly was dining and catering. So most people, I was just talking to a friend of mine who had a wedding for about 100 people, and she said that she spent $20K on catering, and to me that's just like, it's a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, like I like a good party, but I was like, 20K is a lot of money. So I ended up doing private dining. DC is known for their private dining. Almost like a lot of restaurants have those back rooms that are really private. I ended up going with the Yardbird in DC. It's a southern restaurant, but it's still like kind of high scale. They have a gorgeous back room that's meant to accommodate 12 people. I spent $800 on a deposit, and you get to pay it in like 2 increments of $400 every like $400 upon reserving it, and then $400 halfway to the actual event, and then you pay like whatever difference is depending on how your party eats. So at the Yardbird, my family chose to do like we just ate like a normal dinner style. Like they came in and they ordered it, and I got to set like my own menu. I got to do like, and they even printed like Chris and Kayla's wedding congratulations like on the menu. We got to keep it. We got to pick our own drinks. Even for like the cocktail menu, we got to do like a Kayla's choice and a Chris choice, and it was very subtle, very cute. I won't say mindful, but it was a very intimate dinner. And at the end of the dinner, like almost every family member gave a small speech just to let people know, like just to let me and Chris know like we're loved and supported. And I really just thought that was like a beautiful moment for my family. And it like, you know, we're just really blessed to have like a tight-knit family. So it's like also with like the Yardbird, which I really liked, is that we didn't end up footing the whole bill right then and there, because half the bill was already paid. So really, I think we only spent like $2,500, I want to say. Yeah, $2,500 was like the amount that we paid for like the whole dinner. But already half of that was already paid, almost half of that was already paid for. So really we only had to come to the table with like a certain amount. And you're allowed to even like prepay like over that. So I'd highly recommend the Yardbird, and they were super nice about it. They had like, we had multiple emails back and forth. They kept asking me if I wanted to like add or take away stuff to the menu, if like anybody wasn't a drinker, if anybody had allergies, and they were like, they remembered stuff that I forgot I told them. Like I told them that Chris's grandmother didn't drink, they remembered that. I told them that my brother's underaged, or like my dad has a cheese allergy. They remembered like all this weird stuff that I don't even remember telling them for real. And they were like able to spot who's who. They let me set name tapes like on the tables, so I got to like make sure like certain people were sat next to each other that I knew enjoyed their company. And it was just really cool. And I would highly recommend the Yardbird if you're looking to do like even like a private event, a birthday party in DC. Like, and I know they have other locations out there as well. I really liked it. But all in all, for my wedding, I don't think I spent more than like $7K. And that's like over time. Like it took me like 2 months to get to that point. And that's like dresses, suits, dry cleaning, Airbnbs, hotels, like everything. Like it was, so if you're thinking about doing a micro wedding, under 10 people, really intimate, I'd highly recommend it. I think it's one of like the best like trends that's happening right now. If me and Chris like would like to have a bigger wedding, we're talking about doing a year from now, doing a like a 1 year anniversary party. We'll invite like all of our friends out, maybe do like a destination thing, and then do like a recommitment ceremony there. But honestly, like this thing was so beautiful that we kind of don't even see like a purpose to it. But yeah, if you have any questions or you want me to do like a pros and cons list, to tell you guys like the difference between like a micro wedding and like the big wedding, and like what those differences kind of look like, please let me know, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.